Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us on our latest segment of the Incident Management Cafe. My name is Cam Shrikant with the solutions team here at AlertOps, and we've also got Robert Crum, our VP of Technology. Hi, Bob. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, hi Cam. Glad to be on board.
Yeah, cool. So, I think really what we wanted to discuss during this cafe was really the value of AI in incident response, right? We hear AI and machine learning being thrown around quite a bit as far as uh, predictive analysis, as far as correlation. There's a lot of things that people would like to use AI for within incident response. So, what are some of the areas that you think that it could be useful, or where are you commonly hearing that today?
Yeah, Cam. A lot of what I'm hearing these days is alert correlation. That's the number one thing. So correlation meaning that a bunch of alerts have a common cause, correlated to each other. That's probably the number one thing. What are some of your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Especially when you have kind of this notion of a CMDB and being able to build the relationships between existing assets. And as a byproduct of those relationships existing and the level of machine learning that is kind of imbibed in the system, they can go ahead and consolidate the level of alerting to maybe 10 over 500 when a major incident occurs or a mass outage occurs. So I definitely think that incident correlation provides uh, the largest immediate value from a standpoint of AI. Do you think that at all in the future it could be beneficial from an incident response standpoint for machine learning to dictate some improvements to your process, right? Whether there should be an increase in on-call coverage, or whether there needs to be any other changes to your operations in order to optimize incident response.
Oh, certainly. Yeah, better data analysis can tell you, when you need to schedule, right? Staff, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
It could be, driven by a lot of factors, but yeah, that's a great benefit.
absolutely. What are your thoughts around root cause analysis with respect to either correlation or machine learning throughout the course of incident response?
Definitely, Cam, root cause can help greatly in incident response time to resolution, right?
Mhm.
Because I mean, the AI can identify the probable or possible root cause for you, so that gets you on the path to fixing it right away. And then again, in your post-mortem analysis, the root cause will help you to put things in place to prevent the same thing from occurring.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that there's a lot of solutions that are trying to address this problem of tribal knowledge, but I think this is definitely one of them as well. So it's not going to be that something is either undocumented and no records of a former instance of this issue being resolved exists, or on the other hand, there exists some documentation, but no one is made aware of it because it is a rather sparse occurrence. So I think that that whole notion of tribal knowledge is definitely something that can be addressed using AI because we have a record of those previous resolutions in place.
Yeah, and then further down the road, you can look at predictive, right?
Mhm.
In other words, once these patterns have been recognized, correlations and that sort of thing, or anything, right? It could be based on volume, predictive, certain events, things like that about the business. Then it can possibly AI can spot things before they really become an incident, and
Mhm.
that's another big payoff. You can maybe get involved, take actions, or down the road automation.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing is people are not quite ready necessarily for RPA. They don't trust it yet. Humans still feel like they need to look at it and let a person uh,
Mhm.
make a call. What do
Yeah.
you hear about that?
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I think that the level of comfort that exists today around letting a machine dictate what the end result of your incident response is going to be is a little bit worrisome to a large portion of the population still that I hear. With that said, though, I think that AI to suggest potential outcomes could be very useful. So during the past XYZ number of events, we've seen this as being the common solution to these types of incidents. At that point, we would allow some portion of the incident response to actually involve a human reviewing that response and executing it rather than the machine taking that action on its own.
Yeah, absolutely. Give the human all the information they have and let them decide.
Yep.
Yeah, people are not quite ready for the machine to take over the world. It's coming, but you know.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people are still worried about Skynet at the point that we start to let robots take over our incident response. Cool. So really, I think one of the last pieces here that I wanted to discuss was around the actual lifestyle of IT operations personnel. And if we're talking about the uses of artificial intelligence and machine learning in incident response, a lot of it is currently had just heavily centered around application performance monitoring. With that said, though, application performance monitoring is beneficial in AI in that space to reduce noise, but I would say that the outcome of that is the benefit to AI IT operations personnel. For example, SREs are very regularly expected to go through, sift through all of this noise, and then isolate the few signals that actually warrant some level of investigation or response. So at 2 a.m., when you have an on-call site reliability engineer that is being woken up for something very, very minor, that level of noise reductions is going to substantially improve the quality of life for IT operations workers. What do you think about that, Bob?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just reducing noise. Um, AI will tell you, this is a low priority. Let it wait. You don't need to be woken up. The other thing we've heard um, about application performance monitoring tools is kind of the unforeseen consequence that they actually do generate a lot of anomalies, and so AI can help to kind of align those for it. I think in the end, the AI will help people. Um, I don't think the Luddites of the world need to worry just yet. We don't need to start smashing servers or whatever it is. But yeah, I think in the end, it's going to really help make people's life better, easier, allow people to focus more on what's important, like getting sleep in some cases, and solving the important incidents, and maybe even getting to things before they get out of control.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Well, I think that's just about it for today's Incident Management Cafe. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and hope to catch you next time.